he and his brothers had chosen military life as young men. One by one, 7 brothers answered the call to service. Young, strong men, all were ready to sacrifice themselves for their family and their country. What was it that was so powerful that they would be ready to sacrifice themselves in the prime of their youth? Was it for freedom? They had that. To visit a foreign land? Perhaps. To enjoy the thrill of army food and barracks life? Probably not. These were men who were willing to do what must be done to preserve a way of life. Men who wished to ensure that those who fought before them had not made their sacrifices in vain. Men who cared that other people in the world might have a chance at democracy and that freedom is not just a concept reserved for Americans. For generations, men and women have given their lives, homes, and property to maintain a life of freedom in this country for their families. And for generations, I believe many young people have been inspired to join the ranks of those who have gone before them to fight for those same freedoms. They feel compelled to be of service because of that legacy given to them by veterans. They know that veterans have given them a great gift, a special gift, a personal gift. Because of the service and sacrifice of veterans like my grandfather and his brothers, the youth of our country and I are able to enjoy a life that many can only dream of and that some cannot even imagine. I know the service and sacrifice of my grandfather does not give me a license to do anything I please. I have a responsibility to use his gift wisely. I must cherish it and protect it, and if possible, share it. My grandfather lived his whole life with a cloak of patriotism and citizenship wrapped around his shoulders. It was not a burden. He did not take it off when it became heavy with disappointment in his fellow Americans. He did not cast it off when the direction of politics took a path with which he did not agree. His love of this land would remain unshakable through its darkest hours. That love of his country, faith in his God, and the devotion to his family were all he needed to know his sacrifices were not in vain. Grandpa loved going to his parades and rarely missed one. He would get there early so as to have a good place to put his lawn chair. The color guard would march by and he would struggle to his feet and salute in that special way old soldiers do. I could feel the brotherhood born of the service and sacrifice they have given us. And though it was 50 years before I ever even entered this world, I know that service and sacrifice was for me. Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was no more war? But then our greatest loss would be that eventually there would be no more veterans. What a loss. The benefit that he gave me is that my life is so much richer for having a grandfather who was a veteran. He became an example to me of what a real patriot is. He taught me that Americanism is not just for old folks. He lived service and sacrifice all his life, and I must honor him by continuing his legacy of citizenship and reverence for those who have gone before. My grandfather died in that bed in the VA hospital. His kidneys had failed, his body was bloated, and both legs had been amputated just days prior to his death. This once vital man whose body had betrayed him wore his red, white, and blue baseball cap, a gift from my father, into his last days. A patriot to the end, he died quietly and alone with no family present. Now that I am older and I understand better what service and sacrifice really mean, I regret I did not thank him.